Greetings to you, dear viewers, on our channel. We are glad to see you today, and we want to thank everyone for being with us. Today's video will be devoted to a topic that always remains relevant: the process of making dollars and measures taken to protect against counterfeiting. It is believed that dollars are not just money, but also a kind of symbol of the world economy. Let's learn together more about this amazing process and measures to ensure the reliability of banknotes. First, let's familiarize ourselves with the general structure of our video so you know what to expect. In Part 2, we'll cover the history and importance of the dollar as the world's currency. Then, in Part 3, we'll dive into the banknote making process and explain how each piece is created. In Part 4, we'll look at a variety of security measures that make dollars safe and secure from counterfeiting. In Part 5, we'll share interesting facts about dollars that you may not have even known about. And in the 6th part, we will discuss the issue of fighting counterfeiting and how governments and specialized organizations are fighting this problem. We had a little surprise for you at the end of the video, so stay tuned for the end. Well, let's begin our fascinating journey into the world of making dollars and protecting them from counterfeiting. Let's move on to the next part and learn more about the history and significance of the dollar. So, let's move on to our first topic, the history and importance of the dollar. The dollar is not just a piece of paper or metal. It has a rich history and plays a huge role in the world economy. Let's lift the veil a bit and talk about how the dollar became the world's reserve currency. The history of the dollar goes back to the distant past. It appeared in colonial times and was first used as a gold coin. However, in 1792, the United States passed the Coinage Act, which established the dollar as the country's official currency. Since then, the dollar has come a long way in its development. In the 20th century, the dollar gained international importance. In 1944, the Bretton Woods Conference created a fixed exchange rate system where the dollar was pegged to gold. This made it the world's main reserve currency and the US the economic powerhouse. Subsequently, in 1971, it was decided to abandon the direct peg of the dollar to gold, which led to a move to floating exchange rates. Nevertheless, the dollar remained the key currency for international settlements and trade. Today, the dollar plays the role of the world's reserve currency and is used in international financial transactions and trade. Its stability and worldwide recognition make it one of the key elements of the world economic system. Thus, the dollar not only symbolizes the wealth of the United States, but also plays an important role in the structure of the world economy. Now that we've learned a little about the significance of the dollar, it's time to look behind the scenes and learn how these paper symbols of wealth are created. The process of making dollars is a complex and well-organized operation. Let's take a look at the major steps in this process. The first and perhaps the most important step is the printing of the banknotes. Specialized printing machines apply images, numbers, and security features to the paper. However, this is only the beginning. Next, banknotes go through a series of complex processes, including the application of security features and processing to prevent counterfeiting. Trimming is another important step in the dollar production process. Precise dimensions and crisp edges are not just a matter of aesthetics. Every detail matters to ensure the quality of the banknote and its protection against counterfeiting. It is also worth noting that the production of dollars is accompanied by measures to ensure quality and safety. Employees of special services are engaged in checking each banknote for defects and compliance with standards. But this is not all. The secrecy of the production of banknotes is one of the most important aspects. The production process uses a special technology that makes counterfeiting banknotes extremely difficult. Secret elements, watermarks, microprinting. All this ensures the uniqueness and reliability of dollars. Thus, the process of making dollars is a long and complex journey, from printing to quality control and security checks. This makes it possible to create a currency that is not only a medium of exchange, but also a symbol of reliability and stability. The dollar is not only a symbol of wealth and the world economy, but also an object of attention for fraudsters. Therefore, a variety of protection measures are used to ensure the reliability of the currency. Let's take a look at the main ones. One of the most common security features is the watermark. You may have noticed the small image visible when a banknote is viewed through a light. This is a watermark that is simply impossible to counterfeit. This is one of the oldest methods of protection, which is still successfully used today. Another important element of protection is the security thread. It is embedded in the paper during production and is visible when the banknote is shined through. It also serves as an indicator of authenticity. Microprinting is a very fine and detailed pattern that is visible only when the banknote is magnified. It is a sophisticated element that is virtually impossible to counterfeit on standard devices. Technological advances have also found their way into the protection of dollars. Three-dimensional images and color shifting are innovations that make counterfeiting even more challenging. Banknotes have effects that change depending on the angle of view. These are just a few examples of what security measures are used on dollar bills. Each year, technology becomes more sophisticated, making counterfeiting even less likely. Defense against counterfeiting is not just about technology, but also about public knowledge. Remember that genuine banknotes always have unique security features. Beware of counterfeits and pay attention to detail to make sure your dollars are authentic. The dollar is not only a means of payment, but also a subject of interest for many collectors and historians. Let's talk about some interesting facts about dollars that you may not have already known. Each banknote has its own denomination: 1, 5, 10, 20, 50, and $100. Interestingly, each denomination has its own unique design and features. For example, the back of the $1 features the first U.S. President George Washington, while the $100 features Benjamin Franklin. In addition, some dollar issues are special or rare. For example, in the mid-20th century, a silver certificate was issued with a 1957 denomination. This is an interesting historical artifact that is now a subject of interest to collectors. Another fact is that some dollar bills are issued specifically for collections or events. They may have special designs and sometimes even altered security features. Such issues become especially valuable to collectors. There are other interesting details about the dollars that make you wonder. For example, on the banknote nomination of $20 depicts Andrew Jackson, the 7th President of the United States. But why exactly him? It turns out that the choice fell on Jackson because of his role in the development of the banking system. By the way, did you know that the most expensive banknote in the world is $100,000? But it wasn't used for circulation. It was issued in 1934 and was used exclusively for banks and internal transfers. These points make dollars not only money, but also a part of history and culture. So perhaps your dollars in your pocket have a lot more value than just face value. Like any other currency, dollars are at risk of counterfeiting. Modern technology allows fraudsters to create increasingly skillful fakes. Let's understand what varieties of counterfeit dollars exist and how to combat this problem. The most common type of counterfeit is low-denomination counterfeit bills. They can be made quite convincingly, but they often lack characteristic security features. This can be, for example, the absence of a watermark or irregularities on the surface. However, modern scammers go further and create counterfeit dollars of higher denominations. They use printing techniques and even security features to give their fakes a more realistic look. To combat counterfeiting, governments and organizations are taking a number of actions. First, the design and security features of dollars are regularly updated. This makes it harder for fraudsters because they have to keep up with the changes. Second, many dollar bills contain special machine-readable elements that serve as authentication. This helps in quickly determining whether a bill is genuine or counterfeit. There are also educational programs and campaigns that encourage the public to be vigilant and know how to recognize counterfeit banknotes. This helps to reduce the number of successful counterfeiting attempts. The fight against counterfeiting is an ongoing process that requires the joint efforts of states, financial institutions, and society. It is important to remember that each of us can do our part to protect dollars and prevent fraud. And so, our story about dollars comes to an end. We have considered the process of their manufacture, protection measures against counterfeiting, and interesting facts about them. We hope that now you can look at this symbol of the world economy with a more critical eye. All good times, our video is coming to an end. We hope you have gained interesting and useful information of the process of creating dollars and the measures taken to protect them from counterfeiting. Thank you very much, dear viewers, for joining us today. We are glad that you are showing interest in important topics such as finance and economics. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below the video. We'd be happy to answer all of your inquiries. And of course, we invite you to subscribe to our channel so you won't miss future videos on interesting and relevant topics. We will be glad to see you among our subscribers. Thank you for your attention, and see you on our screens.